Hello, and welcome to our yurt, where living is intentionally slow. This is episode 58 of the Ruby Moss Cottage Yurt Cast, sharing bits of what our life is like living in a yurt tucked high up in the Great Smoky Mountains. Hey everybody, I'm alive. I'm doing well. It's been a while since I've recorded, but life. Can you see the blackberries? They're starting to come on. These are wild blackberries. I'll walk down a path where they grow all down through here. Exciting. I love wild berries. A few of my favorite things. A good summer storm, and a clothesline full of beautiful hand knits. Okay, so up there is our little storage loft, and I'm going to take you up there. This is the day that I'm going to venture up here and I'm going to clean it. It's such a mess. Oh, I'm embarrassed. So this is the before. And I'll show you the after in a minute or 2 or 3 hours. Okay, so it's all out, vacuumed. The rafters are dusted, and I'm now having to load all of that back up here. However, first I have to go through it and get rid of some stuff. So, it's a rainy day, a good day to be working. Hear the rain? I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, back at it. Okay, and we are finished. It's still a little cluttered, but nothing like it was. I don't know if I can zoom out. And so, much better. And I even have a little nook there. I have a little Grandy that loves to find little hiding places and hang out. So I've got her a little pillowed reading corner and all of our extra stuff. When you live in a yurt, you have to put your winter clothes away, and then anything you're not using has to be tucked out of sight. So this is our little teeny tiny loft that we store stuff, and eventually we will have a wider loft that comes clear out over everything. But for now, we use this for storage, and it's all clean. I even cleaned the rafters. So, good day's work. on around here. Our oldest daughter got married, and this is some snippets of the reception and the fun that we had. It's the father-daughter dance, the father, grandfather, girly dance, and then our daughter, of course, dancing with her new husband, and me dancing with my sisters. So we had the best time. We have had a wedding. We have had grandies visiting. My sister came to visit. They want to go down that, don't you? That's far enough. Far enough, watch. Be careful. You have a daredevil on your hands. Oh, you did it. Be careful, not the tip. When you were little girls, you would think those were fairy holes. Oh, look at this. It has been a lot of fun lately, and some things have replaced other things, like gardening has kind of replaced knitting. So I don't have a lot to show, which is part of the reason why I haven't been recording, because I haven't been crofting that much. But I've crofted a little bit. So grab your favorite cuppa and settle in and join me here at the Yurt, and we'll talk all things crofty, all things gardeny, all things booky. We'll just talk about life. If this is your first time viewing, welcome, hello. We live in a yurt high up in the Great Smoky Mountains, and I've had a huge increase of followers. So I don't know what that's attributed to, but thank you, and make yourself at home. Or as I like to say, yome, make yourself at yome. I always start out my podcast with a cuppa, and today we went all fancy smancy. I went down, I had to go because my phone wasn't working right up here. So I had to go into the next little town over, and they have a Verizon store. So I had to pop in Dunkin' and try their brown sugar cold brew with brown sugar foam. Oh my goodness. Let's just say I've gotten a lot done today. I have been just delicious. So not a pretty cuppa, but it's serving the purpose well. My name is Joyce. It is not Ruby. However, many people call me Ruby, and I wear it with honor because that was my grandmother's name. So, yes, welcome. I am so happy that you're here, that you found my little channel, however you found it. And typically it is, let's just say it's a lifestyle podcast, because I do record a lot about the yurt, about our yurt life, what we do around here. And then I record about the books I read, and my husband will generally do a segment on kitchen, what he's cooking in the kitchen. However, it won't be this episode because he's been traveling a little while, or a little more often than normal. So he's not here with me today, and when he is here, we just forget to record him. So he's not in this episode, but maybe over July 4th, we'll record him in the kitchen. But yeah, so you just get a little bit of our lifestyle and then a whole lot of my crafting. We have had a wedding since I last recorded. Oh, what fun. It was the best. Oh my goodness. Our daughter, who has 2 daughters, and if you've followed me for any length of time, you'll know way back when she went through a divorce. Her and her little girls moved in with us, and this was at our other house, not here at the Yurt. And yeah, I helped co-parent them and raise those little girlies for quite a while. And then she bought her own house. We sold the big house and decided we were going to move to the mountains and just retire and live a slow living life. And then of course, Todd, I shouldn't say retired. He just cut back everything. And here lately, there's just been an influx. So he has a bit of consulting, and so he's been doing that. And I've been hanging out here at the Yurt. I do go to Charlotte often and visit with the Grandies. And when he's with me, I stay here. And then, so yeah, we had the wedding. It was a destination wedding. So we went to the beach, and all kinds of family came in, and what a celebration. It was a week-long celebration at this resort, and it was so, so beautiful. And, you know, she married a guy who is just taking on these girlies as his own, and oh my lands, he wrote vows for them, and it was a tearjerker, but it was so sweet. And so lots of dancing with my sisters and my daughters and my grandies and celebrating. We had so much fun. And then when they took their honeymoon, the granddaughters, the little girlies, came up here and stayed. And oh, I have got them hooked on painting, and we went hiking. So I'm going to pop in some videos. I don't know when it's going to pop up. I have not edited all of that yet. So in the editing process, you may have already seen it. You may be seeing it now, or you may see it at the end. That's just how I roll. So we had the wedding. We had the Grandies coming up. And then my sister came up, and oh my gosh, that was such fun. We went to a yarn shop. What else did we do? We went to coffee shops. We went shopping for clothes. We hung out here at the Yurt, and we sat around the fire pit. And the weather that weekend was fabulous. Oh my goodness. It was perfect weather. Cool. You couldn't ask for more. We hung out in the Yurt. We watched movies. We just had a long weekend. She took a vacation day, and we just had a long weekend, and we just enjoyed each other. Oh, I wish she could just live up here with us forever. It was so much fun. So, what else has been going on? You know, when I look back over the clips, I'm going to see so much that I could have talked about, but really and truly, because it's been such a while, I can't even remember what all has been going on. I know I recorded like a week before I left for the wedding, and I met my husband up there because he just flew into there from where he was on assignment. So I left, went to Charlotte for a while. My daughter and I made some Adirondacks for up here. She's like her mama. She will do anything. She will try anything. And that's how I am. I mean, I'll just try anything. So we made Adirondacks. She had already made one for her place, and I loved it so much. And so I said, would you help me make them? And she said, of course. But you know how things like that go. She did most of the work. I did hold the wood at times. And but she did most of the work. I did the sanding and the staining, and they are all up. They're both up here now. And yeah, it's just been so hot that other than the time when my sister was here, the weather's just been too hot to even sit around a little fire pit. So, but we enjoyed it that weekend. And I am in a squeaky rocking chair. Can you hear that? It's really squeaky, but I like sitting here. Today it's an overcast day, so the lighting is really kind of perfect for recording. We were supposed to have rain, but we haven't. You know how I love rain at the Yurt. So yeah, if you haven't watched for long, you will see and hear over time when I recorded the rain on the Yurt. Oh, it's so, so cozy. Thank you to everyone who's been reaching out to me. I am so touched by that. A lot of you have been private messaging me or direct messaging me and telling me how much you enjoyed this podcast. And that has touched my heart so much. Your stories have made me cry. Your stories have just warmed my heart, and it's just kept me going. So thank you so much for all of that. Please feel free to leave a comment below, introduce yourself if you haven't already, or just talk about anything I talk about here. You can feel free to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you'll get notifications when I do record and upload. And that way you'll be sure not to miss a podcast. Also, when you hit the notifications and subscribe, it lets YouTube know, oh, this is the kind of podcast that I like. And so they will feed you more like that, like mine. So if you're looking for other podcasts that are kind of similar to this, that helps them, helps their algorithms somehow to let them know. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page. It's kind of like, instead of doing a Patreon, I just have a Buy Me a Coffee page. So you can hit the link below, you can go buy me a coffee, and that just helps encourage me to keep doing what I'm doing, to keep going to all the work of setting up and tearing down and just recording my lifestyle. So yeah, that keeps me motivated. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who has supported me through that. I do have patterns, 2 sock patterns as of now. Another one is twirling in my head and halfway on the needles. And hopefully that'll come out within this summer sometime. But I do have 2 sock patterns. One's called Serendipity and one's called Hearts Afoot, and they are both for sale on Ravelry. They are not in my Etsy shop at the moment because my Etsy shop has been on vacation for quite a while. I just have not been in that creative making mojo in that realm. What I do is I take old thrifted blankets and afghans and old fabrics and turn them into, repurpose them. And so brain just hasn't been there. I think maybe it's the hot weather. I don't know. But so my Etsy shop, which is called I See Flowers, has been on vacation since before the wedding. Quite a while. But that is a little bit about me in case you are new. And if you are not new, and if you are a loyal follower, thank you, I love you, and thank you for putting up with all that rambling about things that you already knew about. All right, let's see, what have I been, okay, I'm gonna pop in here. You'll remember I was doing some a paint by number the last time, and so I have that one finished, and I'm going to put that in here so that you can see. I have it hung above our bed. It's on what is a pallet wall because we have yet to really remodel the inside of the Yurt. We've been busy doing things like put in a wood burning stove and all the necessities that it takes to stay warm and function before we do all the decorating, for lack of a better word, construction. So we still have not put up permanent walls in here. The bathroom has permanent walls, and that was like that when we moved here. But that is our bedroom wall, and that it's hung on. And as I said, it's a pallet wall for a temporary wall. It was up when we moved here, and so I've just left it here. I painted it, but I just left it. So I was painting that painting, finished that, and I started another one. Now let me tell you, it's right there. You can see a little bit of it. So I'm gonna pull it over here. Okay, my sister left Monday. Today is Saturday. So she left 5 days ago. I started this the day she left, the afternoon she left. So Monday afternoon, I started this, and it has been so addictive. that I cannot stop doing it. So I'm going to show you. I have nearly finished a painting in a week, and that's never ever happened to me before. And all the paintings that I've painted, I've never painted one this fast. But here you go. Is that not gorgeous? So yes, I have painted that in a week. I thought maybe it had a name, but it doesn't. Oh, I have had such fun doing this. It's so pretty. All I want to do is just stare at it. But yes, these are paint by numbers. I am not an artist by any means, so I could never sit down and just start drawing free-handed. But anyone can do paint by number, right? So I have been doing this. When my grandies visited, the girlies, I wanted them to experience paint by numbers. I'm gonna pop videos in here of them, or pictures in here of them. First of all, I met my daughter halfway, picked up the girlies, and we stopped at a Hobby Lobby and we got 2 paint by numbers for them because I thought they're gonna like to do this. They fell in love with it. They both chose the Starry Starry Night. That's their mother and the two of them, that's their favorite painting. So they did that here. Then they loved it so much. And you know, we just don't have any place to run and get paint by numbers. So I hopped on Amazon, like you do, and ordered them Pokemon pictures to paint. They're getting ready to move into a new house, and they'll have their own rooms for the first time in their life, and they wanted to do a painting that they could hang in their own rooms. So this is the paintings that they did. And the one was the youngest, Mimi, had the big yellow Pokemon, and that she finished that while she was here. I think she may have ended up finishing it. No, she finished it while we were here because we stopped and got a frame on the way back to Charlotte. Natalie, the oldest, I don't know. I need to touch base and see if she's still working on it. But hers was a little more detailed, so it was taking her a little longer. But they had the most fun, and I think they are finally hooked on something that I like to do. Oh, Natalie is forever telling me, Gigi, I don't like to knit. She was the one that was the knitter when she was a little girl. And she, you know, she'll get interested again in it someday. But the painting, they absolutely loved. So that, and I painted one. I'll have to take a picture of it and pop it in here. It was just a little coffee house sign. I just wanted something small because I knew I just didn't want to start something big till they left. So I did the little coffee house painting. It's now in my kitchen. So that was such fun. I have been doing that. Now, we'll hop over to the crochet. A long time ago, I told you guys that I was making a blanket for my sister. Remember, my sister and I bartered. And this was back last fall, and I still do not have her blanket finished. And thankfully, she is not too upset about it. At least she doesn't act like it. But when Sharon was here, I said, okay, I've got to start working on Debbie's blanket, and I've got to start doing it seriously. So I picked it up, and I committed that I was going to make knit or crochet 4 rows a day. Well, I haven't. I put a little progress keeper where I started. Okay, so when Sharon was left, I said, okay, 4 rows a day. This was where I put the progress keeper. So I've crocheted this much to the blanket. See how far I am? Not far. However, it is for a king size bed. So it is, you know, it's quite wide. And it's going to take me a while, but aren't her colors just so pretty? I am a colorful girl, so this is not something that I would ever make for me. And I really thought it was going to be a struggle to make it, but I've enjoyed the calmness of it. It's so pretty. She picked out all the colors. So I am making this granny stripe blanket for my sister, and I'm hoping that by showing you this, it will hold me accountable. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move this progress keeper to the row that I'm on right now. So now, you see it. It's right here on a gray row. Now, the next time I record, hopefully I've got a lot knit or crocheted, and hopefully it's not a long time till I record. But that is being worked on. This, my painting in a book. I just keep doing bounce, 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 paint, book, crochet, paint, book, crochet. The three things are really keeping me busy. That and, you know, just your everyday housekeeping and the gardens. But these are my three go-to things I've been working on the most. So this is in my bags, basically in my basket. I want to get it done because this huge basket with all of her yarn sits out at, you know, it's a Yurt, it's small, and I've got this and a ton of other bags sitting around. So I need to start working through my projects, and I need to get this yarn into a blanket, out the door, so this basket can get hung. Because I need space, and because I want to start new projects for the fall. So I need to get some things done. Another thing that's in my bags, and it's in this bag by Button Jar Studio, is a pair of my Hearts Afoot socks. I really wish, I do have some sock blockers here, but I don't think that's really going to matter. This is what the Heart Afoot sock looks like. So you just roll it down like so. Now this is just a fun pair. On my last episode, you saw it was a different color cuff and heel, and then the base of it, no, a cuff and toe, and then the base of it was all one color, even the heel. This, as you can you see the heart right there? That's why it's called Hearts Afoot. There's a heart on the top of it. Thank you to so many of you who have knit it and your kind reviews. Oh my gosh, I am so thankful for that. If you've knit this, could you do me a favor and post it on Ravelry, and so that I will have more projects under my patterns. And then also when you post on Instagram, make sure you use the Hearts Afoot hashtag, or if you're doing the serendipity, the same serendipity. But this is a friend of ours asked me if I'd make her a pair and for commission, and I said, sure, I can do that. She's not a knitter. I'm hoping she likes these colors. If she doesn't, I will probably pop these in my Etsy shop and knit her another pair, because, you know, not everybody is into these funky colors, but, you know, me, I am. So I'm having such fun with that, but, you know, I've got this much done on sock number 2. So I'm working on the heel, which I love this heel pattern, and I've had so many of you tell me you love the heel too. It's a little different heel, so I'm not gonna give anything away. Like I say, you can go on Ravelry and buy the pattern, Hearts Afoot. And then I do not have a pair of my serendipities on the needle. But that is what is in my bags actively. I did find something while my sister was here that, because we were going through my bags of projects that I'm working on. This bag by my friend Monique, Blueberry Fields, she has an Etsy shop. She sent me this for my birthday last year. In this is the birthday sweater that I'm working on with my friend St. Louis. And it's called the Richmond Heel Pullover, I think. But I had decided I was going to rip it all out because I thought it was too big. Then when my sister was here, I showed her and she fell in love with it, and she said, try it on, I want to see it. And when I did, she said, not too big, you need to keep that because it's just oversized is what it is. So I'm keeping it. And I'm so glad that I decided this, because I don't think I would have ever ripped this out and re-knit it, because it goes on, the body of it just goes on, and it is fingering weight on little needles. So I knew, oh, if I tear that out, I'm not going to remake it. So here it is. And the sleeves are Colorworks sleeves. I'm doing them at the same time because I want them to be the same. And I don't want to get one sleeve done and go to knit this other one and then have run out of yarn. So as I work them, I'm just going to work them, do a little bit on this one, go to the next one, do a little bit on that one. But I am going to keep it, and I'm so happy now that I've decided to keep it. I will not need to make the arms as long as what the pattern calls for because it's so oversized. So that's a good thing. I'm almost finished, basically. I mean, you know, a couple more inches. couple more inches, and it will be done. So by my birthday, hopefully, I will be able to wear this. It'll be completely finished, and I will be enjoying it. So that's the Richmond Hill pullover, and I'm sure you can find that on Ravelry. There's a store, and I don't know what the name of the store is. They have an online shop, and that's how I went and bought it. I think all of this yarn, I may have went and bought a couple colors for colorwork, but for the most part, this was all in my stash. Oh, you know what? I lie. This right here is what I went and bought. I bought this at a local yarn shop, and then I think this is all in my stash. But this I did buy because I didn't have enough for a sweater. That's the problem with the yarn in my stash. I don't really have a lot of yarn that's sweaters worth of quantity. So that is the predicament that I am in. That is what is in my bags. I'm going to put this back in this bag. So that's what's in my bags actively. Not actively, but it's going to be active. So those 3 projects, and that's what I'm working on. I want to show you real quick something that my sister and I told you we went to a yarn shop. It was about an hour away at Friends and Fiberworks, I think is what it is, over near Asheville. And we made several stops that day. One thing we bought was this. It's the part of the Natural Life. If you bought their clothing, this is part of that, their brand. And I bought it because I knew we'd be sitting out by the fire pit, and I wanted a bag that wouldn't get dirty or could be washed easily. And so this isn't it awesome? And it, you know, it can collapse. It's just, I love it. Anyway, these, look how pretty those yarns are. That is the yarns that I bought at the yarn shop. And, oops, I just dropped some of the yarn I bought. And there's some other things down in there that I bought. I'm doing an advent swap with Marta. And so, Marta, this is going into some part of your advent. Not minis, something else. So that's enough to get your curiosity flowing. But that, and I'm not going to be able to show you guys what I make until after December 1st. I'm not really good at keeping secrets. Not when it's things I make. I might just have to tell Marta she can't watch a podcast or two. Anyway, that. And then I bought this yarn. It's Rowan Alpaca Soft DK. I bought 3 skeins of it. And I'm going to make a hat. They had a hat there in the shop that was really, it would be like the perfect mountain hat that I would wear every day on my walks. So that's what else I bought. And that's all the yarn shopping I have been doing. I do have something out of my bags. Now this I made for the wedding. It was an outdoor wedding along the beach, so, well, not overlooking the beach. And so I knew there would be breeze. It was May. You never know what kind of weather's happening in May. And so I wanted to make a shawl. And my friend, Marta, the one I talked about doing the advent calendar for, had sent me this beautiful yarn. And you cannot tell, but there is some sparkle to it. Oh, I really, really wish you could tell. I'm going... But you cannot see the sparkle. It is beautiful yarn. It's 2 yarns held together. It's a mohair, and this is the base that had the sparkle. And so I don't know if you're going to be able to see any sparkle in that or not. But that was it. And I made this shawl. I wanted it to be special. So the yarn from Marta was very special. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use that and wrap it, have this shawl. And, you know, the Sweet November shawl is my go-to shawl. So I wanted to make this to go with my gown. Well, I put a little fringe on it, and I loved the little fringe. And this kind of blows it out, but it's not very big fringe at all. It's just really dainty. And I thought this would just be nice and elegant to wear. And so I rushed and rushed and rushed and got it done. I was even knitting on it that week we were at the beach. So I had it all done, ready to wear. And let me tell you what happened. Okay, so when I'm here at the yurt, it's like everything is serendipity. Everything will work out. Life is grand, no stress. So I had my gown and it needed hemmed a little bit, so I hemmed it perfect. And it was low cut. And I knew it was very low cut. But I thought, you know what? Not that big of a deal. I'll fix it when I get there. And so I packed the tape that I could use, like the body tape. I packed some Velcro in case I wanted to Velcro it. And of course I had safety pins. I was ready, the whole gambit. Didn't give it another thought because you know what? Easy peasy. We're just all zen. So the day of the wedding, we meet in my daughter's suite for hair and makeup. So it's all of her bridesmaids, myself, and the mother of the groom. And we met at 8:30 in the morning for hair and makeup. It was a 5 o'clock wedding, and they had a 3 o'clock first look scheduled. And then we had photographs at 3:30. Well, we were there getting hair and makeup done until like 10 till 3. And so they had to move because the first look was supposed to be down on the lawn where the wedding was going to be. And so they had to move the first look up to her suite because there was just no way to get her ready and get her down there. And so we left her suite at 3 o'clock. My husband and I were sharing like it was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath condo. So my other daughter and I left the bride, Adrienne, at her room, her suite at 3 o'clock. Our pictures were supposed to be at 3:30, and it was like a good 5-10 minute walk from our hotel or from our condo to where the wedding was. So we are rushing over to get ready. She's in her bedroom doing her thing. I'm in my bedroom doing my thing. And my gown, is really, really, really low. And so you're not in the yurt any longer. You are like in real world, in stress world. And so I'm like, okay, let me fix this. Nothing was working. And I don't mean low, I mean gaping low, like everything's showing low. And I'm like, my husband is like in the bedroom, I'm in the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't fix this. And so he comes in and he can tell she's gone off the deep end or she's really close. And so I'm just going to remove myself because I cannot be of any help here. So he leaves. He goes out into the living room and he shuts the door behind him. And I'm in there talking to myself, I think. I don't know. I must have been talking louder and stressing because my daughter heard me eventually. And I'm like, I can't go to this wedding. There is nothing I can do here. I cannot go to the wedding. And I'm like freaking out. So she comes in. Now, back up. She had bought 2 gowns because she wasn't sure which gown she was going to wear. She was the matron of honor. And she liked one, and her sister, the bride, liked the other. And so she ended up going with the one that her sister liked because she said, it's not my day. It's not about me. It's all about her. So I'm going to wear this glittery thing that she likes. So she had an extra gown. So she comes in and I'm like, she goes, what's the problem? And I'm like, I can't go to the wedding. Look at this. And she was like, oh, she knew immediately that fabric was not going to be fixed in any way. So she turns around, goes out. She comes back in with her other gown and she says, put this on. And I'm like, I cannot wear that gown. And she said, put it on. So I'm stripping everything off. I'm putting the other gown on. It fit perfect. She said, there. I said, but my jewelry doesn't match. So we're going through the jewelry that I have. We get it all figured out. By this time, I'm really in a mess. And I'm like, I don't even like how she fixed my hair. She had like half of it up. And, ugh. So I whipped that comb out and I messed my hair up really good. And it was like, okay, literally, we turned around and we all walked out the door and went to the wedding. Saying all that to say, in that process, this did not get picked up. So I did not wear this. Turned out I didn't need it because it was quite warm. However, I'm thinking back, if I had just taken one moment and one deep breath, I could have wrapped this and tied it. I mean, like, it would have knotted. You know, I could have knotted it probably somehow to where it would have been fine. It may have camouflaged the lowness, and it would have been perfect. I'm sure I had a brooch I could have pinned there. We could have gone on, and I would have avoided all of the drama. My daughter, Todd said, when she came out, it's hot. I'm sweating because I can't turn the air condition on, or it is really loud. The camera picks it up and it sounds much louder than it really is. So I'm really hot. When my daughter came in and found me in such a mess, he said she came out and she looked at all, because my son-in-law was out there, her nanny that she brought with her was out there, and she went out and she said, if any of you pray to a God, I pray. No, she said, how was it? She said, if you pray to a God, pray to him. Start praying to him or her now. And then she went, got that other gown, brought it in, and fixed it. So all was well. I ended up in a gown that I'm the mother of the bride. Thankfully, our daughter, who was the bride, is so easygoing. I mean, she could have cared less if I would have come in jeans. She would have probably said, oh, that's fine, you know. But when she saw me for pictures, she was like, what happened? And Courtney said, it's a long story. We'll tell you later. Just believe me, this is the best thing she had. So anyway, this did not get worn. And I wanted it to be worn. I wanted it to be there for the special day. But there are quite a lot of memories that are wrapped up with this. So it is still the shawl that I knit from yarn that my sister, my soul sister in London, bought me, and I made a shawl from it, and she was with me during that very special time for our family. She just was back in the room, not being used. So, the saga. I have found that, like, when I'm up here, life is good. I mean, like, it's like a high. You don't need alcohol. You don't need drugs. It's just like such a zen place. And I go to Charlotte and I turn back into a different person. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just that whole materialistic vibe that's just everybody's dashing and darting and running here. And there's time slots, and you have to be here at this time, you have to be here at this time, and it's like, I don't operate well in that world anymore. And so, like, instead of me thinking rationally, okay, you've got that shawl, just wrap it around and knot it, which probably would have been, I would have done that. Had I been up here, it would have been, oh, no big deal, let's just wrap a shawl around it and we'll go. But I lost sight of all of that and just hit panic mode, probably because we were all running behind on time. I don't know, but the world of Joyce away from the yurt is not always a pretty place. All right. What is in my book bags? Oh my goodness, this has been the summer of reading. I am reading some of the best books. So, I have, let me see the order. Okay, Lilac Girls. I think I may have told you about this one. Yes, I did share this with you. I finished it, and it was good. But let me tell you, I finished it 2 books ago, and I can't really remember. I mean, I remember. Yes, I do remember. Okay, so this is a World War II era book, like genre, and that is my favorite, you all know. So that's the premise for this book. It is very good. It's about 3 distinct women who have met up, or their lives have been intertwined because of the war. It is good. I will say it wasn't a page turner. It was like read a little bit here, read a little bit there, but I did enjoy it. So that was good. I read this one, Love the One You're With. It's okay too. I ended up liking it towards the end, like probably the last quarter of it. It was like, oh yeah, this is good. It's just set in, it's modern day time, set in between New York and Atlanta. So it was good. But this one, The Forest of Vanishing Stars. I've never read this author before, Kristen Harmel. This book is so good. It is taking place during World War II, and it is so intriguing. It's about this girl was raised in the woods. She was actually kidnapped from her parents by an older lady who was kind of like, she saw, the earth spoke to her, the universe spoke to her, told her to go kidnap this girl. And she ends up, you know, she's lived in the woods her whole life, and so she ends up helping groups of Jews who have escaped from the ghettos, and so she's helping them to stay safe. It is so good, and it's actually based on a true story. So I'm pretty sure it's based on a true story. Now that I've said that, I need to make sure, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm going to take that back. I'm not 100% sure it is, but it is really, really good. I don't know, but it's good. I highly recommend it, especially if you like that genre. It's very good. I've got a stack of books to work through, and I am having such fun. I love reading. Okay. One more thing. I think that's it. We're almost finished. Okay. I ordered this. Oh, here's part of my painting that I was looking for. Okay, I ordered this from Etsy. It's from a Ukrainian lady, and I love, you know, I've just been looking for ways to help, and as soon as Charlotte, my friend Charlotte from Stone Knits, she had ordered a pair of these, and so I'm like, that I've got to order those. Do I need another pair? No, but do I love them? Yes, and it's to help a Ukrainian maker. I want to sign me up. So this is what it is. Let me turn it this way. Sock blockers. And look at the sunflower on them. And she engraved them. It's like Ruby Moss Cottage. And then it has our US size, the European size. So 7/8 is what I ordered. So these are the sock blockers. I am in love with them. First class. I love them. So I want to give her a shout out so that you can go on. Her Etsy shop is I will put this in the show notes, D19E Co, lowercase, Friendly Life. I will put the link in the show notes so that you can go on, and if you want to support her, you can do that. And then she sent me this beautiful Ukrainian photo. Oh, so yes, Vicky is her name, and I just wanted to pass that on to you in case you wanted somehow to support a Ukrainian maker. Whoops, that's not how they go. They go like this. This is how you wear your socks. And you don't have a pair of sock blockers. These are great. You get to choose. I think there's, I don't know what other ones there are, and then you can choose different colors of wood. But yeah, these are well worth the cause, the support for the maker, and then, you know, you've got a nice set of sock blockers. So that is what I wanted to share with you. That is all that I have. So I did it. Oh, what's coming up? July 4th, big celebrations here in the U.S. We're not celebrating big. I think we're just going to take some day trips around the different mountains. Maybe hike some. Definitely cook. Hopefully it'll be cool enough for a fire pit, although it says rain for the next 10 days. I don't know. Up here it always says rain. It said rain the last 2 days and we haven't gotten a drop. So, I don't know. But, yeah, it's going to be low-key. We don't have anything planned other than just relax. And then, that's it. I don't have any other trips coming up. I'm trying to convince my sister to take a week off so she can come up here and stay with me. But I don't know if she's going to do that anytime soon. But that is all I have for you. So I'm going to get busy. I'm going to get this mess cleaned up. And then I have a lot of editing to do. And I'm probably going to paint. And I'm probably going to read. And I'm probably going to crochet. So until next time, just remember that in everything you do, take it one stitch at a time.